Alan Jackson has long represented authentic country music, known for his baritone voice, melancholy melodies, and family name. He always seemed in control with his cowboy hat, friendly grin, and faith and love-filled song lyrics. Fans admired him for staying pure, never getting into scandals, and keeping his life personal. Despite that calm exterior, others thought something was being left unsaid. There were whispers, not gossip, but mild inquiry. How was hidden life? Was everything as perfect as it seemed? Truth is revealed, and it's not what everyone wanted. Traditional country music star Dad Gene Jackson, Joseph Eugene, had Alan Jackson, Mama Ruth Jackson in Noonan, Georgia. Jackson, the youngest of 5 siblings, lived with his 4 elder sisters in a modest house built around his grandfather's workshed. The majority of his family was English. His mother lived in that modest dwelling until her 2017 death. Jackson began composing in 1983, but his musical basis was laid earlier. Jackson attended Elm Street Elementary and Noonan High School and joined Dixie Steele after graduating. He was raised on gospel music, but a friend introduced him to country artists like Gene Watson, John Anderson, and Hank Williams Jr. His blue-collar jobs included construction and forklift driving, by playing in small Georgia clubs. Jackson was a country music superstar by the mid-1990s. His 1995 Greatest Hits collection had 17 hits and 2 #1 songs. He had a #1 hit with Little Bitty on his 1996 album Everything I Love, but his first single in years failed the top 10. Right on the Money reached #1 in 1998 on High Mileage. The next year, he risked his approach with Under the Influence, a collection of typical country covers in a pop-influenced country music genre. Jackson interrupted his 1999 CMA Awards performance to perform George Jones' songs, which was either brave or politically ambitious. Jones left the stage after being ordered to cut his performance. Jackson maintained classic country music in the 2000s. Murder on Music Row, a lament against country music commercialization, was recorded with George Strait. The non-single song sparked a stir and debate. Jackson stood apart in a pop country industry. After the 9/11's attacks, his album Where Were You When the World Stopped Turning was a hit with Americans. The song was first played live at the CMA Awards and soon got radio popularity before appearing on his 2002 album Drive. Jackson released his second Christmas CD, Let It Be Christmas, in 2002. He sang a timeless and pure love duet with Jeannie Kendall for her solo album. His 2006 gospel album, Precious Memories, sold over 1.8 million copies, honoring his mother's wish. His Alison Krauss-produced Like Red on a Rose changed his sound the same year. The album's softer rock sound alienated his country fans and bombed at the box office. He returned to his roots with 2008's Good Time, which included singles like Small Town Southern Man and Sissy's Song, a tribute to a family member who died in a motorbike crash. Freight Train, his 16th studio album, was released in 2010, followed by 34 #1s, which contained his duet with Zac Brown Band, As She's Walking Away. Jackson left Arista Nashville and signed with EMI Records Nashville in association with ACR that year. None of his 2012 singles from 30 Miles West reached the top 20. His second gospel album was Precious Memories Volume. Both 2 and the Bluegrass album were successful on bluegrass and country charts. Jackson received a 25-year career display at the Country Music Hall of Fame in 2014. After his 2015 Keepin' It Country Anniversary Tour, he released Angels and Alcohol, his 20th studio album. Jackson was one of 30 performers chosen for Forever Country in 2016, a mashup celebrating the 50th anniversary of the Country Music Association Awards, solidifying his legacy as a genre-defining country music voice, family, faith, and friendship. Alan Jackson married high school sweetheart Denise on December 15, 1979. Over time, the couple has endured many ups and downs, raising a loving family. They have three daughters: 1990-born Maddie, 1993-born Ali, and 1997-born Danny. Alan and Denise became joyful grandparents when their daughter Ali and her husband Sam had their first child, a boy, in December 2022. Relationship problems arose in 1998. Fame and a busy music career strained the partnership. The pair split up. They reconciled and have been together since. It's all about him, finding the love of my life. Denise's book about their relationship was a New York Times bestseller. The book details their love, its ups and downs, and how religion brought them together. The Road Home, her second, was published in 2008, a gift or memento book. The Jackson family has other musicians. In addition, his nephew Adam Wright sings and writes country music. Adam and Shannon Wright tour as the Wrights. Alan let them co-write 2 songs and sing backing vocals on his CD, What I Do. Jackson is cousins with former MLB player Brandon Moss. Alan's $38 million sale of his 135-acre Franklin, Tennessee estate in 2009 attracted headlines. One of Nashville's greatest property sales, it sold for $28 million in 2010. Another house in the suburb cost him $3.6 million that year, but he sold it later. Country legend George Jones was Alan's pal. He pays tribute to their friendship in Don't Rock the Jukebox and Just Playin' Possum. Alan performed He Stopped Loving Her Today during Jones' 2013 Grand Ole Opry funeral. He and George Strait sang on Murder on Music Row and are great friends. Besides music, Alan loves old cars. His collection includes rare and pricey cars like a 1968 Shelby GT 500KR convertible and a 1970 Chevelle SS 396. He faces life with composure and honesty despite his problems. Criticism of Where Were You? World Stopped Turning. Alan Jackson's Where. After September 11th, When the World Stopped Turning was a sad ballad. It was also attacked for its naivety and lack of politics. The song, written days after the attacks, aimed to express the nation's grief without political commentary. Jackson said he didn't want to write a patriotic song. I didn't want vengeance either. Many liked this strategy, and the song won awards. Another reviewer says the song oversimplified matters. J.A. Bartlett said in Pop Dose that the song celebrates its unwillingness to act on its values, providing solace without addressing the event's causes or effects. Additionally, the song's line, I watch CNN, but I'm not sure I could tell you the difference in Iraq and Iran, was noted. Jackson intended to show ordinary Americans' perplexity, but some saw it as a sign of world ignorance. Not everyone liked the song. South Park spoofed the song in 2002, alleging it profited on national disaster. Despite criticism, Jackson's Where Were You captures the nation's post-9/11 emotions. It shows how artists must balance personal expression with public expectation when confronting national calamities. Alan Jackson made a big statement at the 1999 CMA Awards that resonated with traditional country music listeners. George Jones was invited to sing choices during the awards presentation, sparking the dispute. Jones declined the CMA's request to sing a shortened version of the song because it insulted him. Alan Jackson, who performed Papa Top, stood up during his set. Halfway through, he told his band to change tunes and sang the Choices chorus for Jones. This impromptu act received a standing ovation. Jackson's protest went beyond defending a musician. It protested the industry's handling of its legends. He added, George Jones isn't everyone. I believed he deserved more than everyone else. It deserved greater respect. The act sparked debate about music business professionalism and protest strategies. Jackson was attacked for deviating from the curriculum, but many commended his guts in standing up for what he believed in. George Jones said, "What he did meant more to me than I could ever convey." One of CMA's most memorable moments illustrates the importance of appreciating musicians, fighting for justice. Walking out during Beyoncé's 2016 CMA performance of Daddy Lessons with the Chicks caused a major controversy in country music. Some liked the duet, but others thought it strayed from country music. Alan Jackson, a vocal advocate of traditional country music, was said to have stood up throughout the performance in a silent protest. A Nashville manager claimed, "I was sitting behind Alan Jackson, and he got up from the front row and left during the show." That speaks well for traditional country artists. Some saw the CMA's use of pop and R&B star Beyoncé as an attempt to grow its audience. Traditionalists opposed this, believing the awards program should honor country performers only. Travis Tritt, another country musician, said, "I have nothing against Beyoncé. CMA producers fail me. Pop acts don't boost country ratings." The performance was also critiqued for racial and genre definition. Some audience members allegedly made racist comments during the concert, highlighting inclusivity difficulties in country music. Despite the uproar, most fans and musicians supported the performance as a step toward genre diversity. The incident showed the ongoing conflict between country music's traditional principles and a more diverse musical landscape. Genre purism accusations. George Strait and Alan Jackson performed "Murder on Music Road" at the 1999 Country Music Association CMA Awards, denouncing country music's rising pop influence. The lyrics lament the replacement of country sounds like steel guitars and fiddles with rock period production and financial reasons. Country music enthusiasts who thought the genre was losing its origins liked the song's figurative slaughter. This performance was criticized and controversial among country music fans, despite not being released as a single. Some praised the performers for protecting classic country music, while others saw it as a rebuke to the industry's shifting style. The song was named CMA Song of the Year in 2001, sparking controversy about country music's future. "Murder on Music Row" has long rallied supporters of authentic country music. Its message about the genre's ongoing conflict between commercial viability and creative integrity remains pertinent. The record symbolizes industry tensions and the struggle to preserve country music's identity. "It's All Right to Be Redneck" critique. Alan Jackson's 2001 film "It's All Right to Be a Redneck" was controversial. Even while the song celebrated rural American pride and identity, some listeners and critics argued it reinforced stereotypes and was oblivious to cultural context. Some saw the song's lyrics, such as "It's All Right to Be a Redneck," as stereotyping rural life. Critics said the song's representation of redneck culture could exclude varied listeners and ignore rural life's complexities. The song's publication immediately after the September 11th attacks raised questions about its appropriateness during a time of national mourning. "It's All Right to Be a Redneck" reached number 53 on the Billboard Hot Country Songs chart despite criticism. Fans liked the catchy music and simple lyrics, which promoted rural culture. However, the song dispute sparked long-standing country music debates about authenticity, representation, and tradition against modernization. "It's All Right to Be a Redneck" was a commercial success, but it also raised questions about country music's portrayal of rural society and its tendency to reinforce prejudices. The scandal showed artists struggle to combine cultural sensitivities with authenticity. "I Still Like Bologna" controversy. "I Still Like Bologna," Alan Jackson's 2009 album, divided critics and fans. Some liked its throwback to simpler times, but others felt it outdated and based on tired imagery. Jackson mentions plasma TVs and cell phones in the song, but still loves a bologna sandwich on white bread. He claimed the song was meant to emphasize balancing new technologies with simple pleasures. It seemed like the perfect approach to communicate, "I'm aware of new technology and adapt to some of it." Jackson said he still enjoys bologna on white bread occasionally. Despite its stated message, the song was called simple and anti-modern. Jonathan Keefe of Slant magazine noted the song avoids meaningful contemplation by reciting extensive lists of popular references. Dan Milliken of Country Universe termed such a statement embarrassing for Jackson. Due to this mixed response, Jackson's first single to not enter the top 20 since 2000 peaked at number 32 on the Billboard Hot Country Songs list. I Still Like Bologna celebrated modern life and traditional values, but its implementation was criticized for its efficacy and relevance in a fast-changing musical environment. Why Alan Jackson never removes his hat. A white cowboy hat is more than fashion for Alan Jackson. The story dates back to his teens. The tall country star with the booming voice, guitar, and white cowboy hat is iconic. Few knew he started wearing the hat to hide. Alan's youthful accident left a permanent mark. He ran through a glass door and got a noticeable forehead scar. Like most teens, he was self-conscious about its appearance. Instead of justifying the scar or covering it with makeup or bandages, he did something more Alan Jackson. He wore a cowboy hat and stopped looking. What began as scar concealment became his trademark. His headgear gradually became part of him. It's hard to image him without it. His followers could miss him without that renowned headgear. There's more to it. Ever see his long hair peeking out from the hat? Not a fashion statement either. His constant touring caused it. Jackson traveled city to city and barely had time for haircuts. His long hair just happened and fit his laid-back country attitude. Alan Jackson's cowboy hat, long hair, boots, and look may seem well-crafted, yet it sprang from real life and personal routines. It shows that sometimes the most recognizable looks come from unexpected areas. Health issues. Country music legend Alan Jackson is known for his heartfelt songs, cowboy hat, and authenticity. He shared a very private item in 2021. He'd battled inherited nerve illness, Charcot-Marie-Tooth, CMT, for almost a decade. Alan revealed on the Today Show that he had neuropathy and neurological disorders. "I inherited that from my dad. Although there is no treatment, it has been bugging me for years and is growing increasingly visible. CMT affects the neurological system, causing muscle weakness, walking difficulties, and balance issues. Although it does not shorten lifetime, it can make standing, walking, and holding a microphone difficult." Alan admitted it was difficult to discuss this openly. "I've been hesitant to tell my fans," he said, but he thought it was time, especially because fans were noticing changes in his performance act. "I'm having trouble balancing even in front of the microphone. I feel quite uneasy." Alan didn't want to end his tours despite his condition. He said he's inspired by George Jones and Merle Haggard, who played as long as they could. Alan assured supporters that he will do his best and encourage them to attend his concerts. Alan also relies on his wife Denise for support. She's supported her husband since 1979, even writing a memoir about their relationship. "He lifts me up. I try to pick him up when he's down," she told Today. Alan lovingly updated fans in 2024, saying, "I suppose it's just getting time to start considering about putting it up full-time. It's worsening and making me uncomfortable on stage." Nevertheless, his love of music and his audience has sustained him. Alan's illness is not his only story. It is about courage, honesty, and perseverance. His daughter in the spotlight. Alan Jackson's personal life is quiet compared to his country music career. However, his daughter Maddie Jackson Seligman made headlines for personal and inspiring reasons. not only is Maddie Allen's child, a published novelist and women's rights campaigner. Nashville is a social network she founded to encourage women, showing her interests go beyond country music royalty. Maddie's life has been hard too. A freak accident killed her husband, Ben Seligman, in 2018. The tragedy changed her worldview. In 2021, Maddie published Lemons on Friday, a memoir about her healing and grief. She opens up about bereavement, religion, and how she found strength at terrible circumstances in the book. It also suggests that her father, Alan Jackson, discreetly supported her during personal struggles despite his reclusiveness. The memoir shows how the family handles suffering and healing privately. In addition to Maddie's story, fans are re-examining Alan Jackson's songs to see whether they have hidden meanings. Drive for Daddy Jean and Where Were You When the World Stopped Turning seems simple. Earnest and down-to-earth family, and 9th to 11th attacks ballads. However, some believe these songs may conceal Alan's deeper emotional struggles. The lyrics may not be narrative. They may reflect Alan's hidden problems and feelings. This has made fans admire Alan's music as they try to imagine how he used it to deal with and express things he kept to himself. He's known for his soft tones and old-school country style, but his songs now seem to have more depth. It reminds us that behind the slick music and celebrity is a human with a story of hardship, love, and endurance. Alan Jackson's life and achievements have always spoken to many people, but his daughter's stories and song innuendos enrich our view of him. As a country legend, father, struggling man, and multifaceted artist. One thing is evident from our discussions of disputes, criticism, personal hardships, and family stories. Alan Jackson goes beyond country music. He's multifaceted, with strong convictions, a love of tradition, and a real, often tough human journey behind the scenes. He speaks his mind, even if it's controversial. Alan has always stuck to his country music ideals, whether it was protesting award events, leaving performances he didn't like, or producing controversial songs. His honesty may not please everyone, but it shows his passion for the genre. Alan isn't a megastar, though. He's a father, spouse, and longtime sufferer from a debilitating illness. His devotion for his daughter Maddie and his wife Denise reflect another side of him, a quieter side that rarely surfaces. How Alan has never sought to be someone else is remarkable. He hasn't followed trends or sought recognition. He's built a legacy on being grounded, writing from the heart, and letting music speak. Alan Jackson has shaped country music, whether you like his decisions or not. As he tackles the future with courage and anguish, fans worldwide will remember the guy behind the hat for his heart, not simply his hits. Like this deep exploration and learned something new? Give this video a thumbs up. We benefit much. To never miss an update on more tales like these featuring music, undiscovered facts, and the people behind the legends, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Thanks for watching. See you next time.